Beato real? Eddie.
Beato real?
Beato real?
Real?
Real Beato?
That is the question of the hour.
Beato? Real?
Real Beato
It's
hours.
just like when it's futile for a human like you to dream of killing me. She's like, you thought! Ah, you thought! I feel like that's at least 30% of her character is just like the cackling at laughter that you get when you're like, oh, you thought! Ah, you son of a bitch, you thought! Which side? And then Burncasto with her little cattail that we don't really see because she doesn't really get a full body shot.
Yeah.
Anyways. But hey, Umineko.
Umineko!
I almost clicked episode 2 instead of load again. Guest of honor, Beato real.
I'm so excited! Yeah!
Maria dashed over to the figure.
Such a good, happy
Maria. What a good thing to start on. Also, her outfits fucking rocks.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm. Maria dashed over to the figure, having a full button up. Hey, what's up, Fiend? Having like a full button up, like 3-piece suit as your top, but then leaving like the shirt untucked over a dress shirt is kind of like crazy. I've missed several streams.
It might have been good. You missed the last.
The last one, fucking sucked. It was basically like, okay, so now that we've covered how boring George is and how much he sucks, like, but in like a really normal kind of way. And you know, like, hey, what if we
covered child abuse in a really realistic and detailed way?
What if we captured all angles of like the love, both the horrific abuse and like the love that exists in an abusive child domestic violence relationship.
Yippee!
And now Beatrice is here. Yeah, but now Beatrice is here, so it's good. We're good. Let's go.
The setup for this chapter is really rough. I kind of forgot how fucking rough it was.
Yeah, it's
but
yeah, there were a lot of people in the chat and also me. I was like very legitimately mad. I was like really upset during a lot of that last stream.
So bad.
And then we just didn't stream it for like a little while, and I'm like, this is not, like it's mostly just because like Eddie and I were busy and doing other stuff. It really didn't have anything to do with the content, but
you did the thing that he did to you, dun dun dun. Not really same level at all. I'm gonna say what I did to Dada was much worse.
Oh, absolutely. Don is like a small. Worse. Don is like a small anime. Is like an anime thing. It's like one episode of like there's like this weird sexual assault shit, and then it's like that never really comes up again, and you never really have those themes entering in the story again. And then with this, I'm sure that child abuse is gonna come up again. That's
oh yeah, we're only just dipping our toes.
Oh, that's like one of the major themes is like you're gonna hurt the people that you love, and you're still gonna love them, but that doesn't forgive what you've done to them.
But on the bright news, that was the too long didn't read for the introduction of this chapter. It should proceed as normal from here on out. Except with some twists.
and now Beatrice is here. Wow, Beato, wow. Maria dashed over to the figure. Normally Rosa would scold her daughter if she dashed over to a complete. I just had this thought as I started to read this. It's just like Maria runs up to Beatrice and like grabs her hand and looks up in her eyes and says, "Mother."
Real mom.
Wow, you hit a 9.8 on the cunt scale, mother.
Your shirt looks like you stole my shirt tonight.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. It's fine. See, it's not, because the camera kind of got to me. I always had the mirroring effect backwards, so I reached to the wrong spot. But it's like the little Tommy Hilfiger thing. It's not the same. It's different, technically. This is how I get away with copyright infringement.
Maybe mine also has it, but you can't tell because I have longer hair.
Damn, she's right. Anyways, whatever. Normally, Rosa would scold her daughter if she dashed over to a complete stranger. The music feels low.
Uh-huh.
Give me 1 second.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, how are we doing? Ooh, yeah.
Oh, shit! Oh my god!
Okay, turn that back down.
Boy, I swear to God, what the fuck?
Okay, I don't know why that hopped up so loud.
I hear
it! Sorry about that, everyone. I didn't realize I had it on 1. Like, how loud could it possibly go? Okay, I feel like that's a good spot right here. And we'll turn the voices up. I didn't realize. I didn't know. Ooh, give me 1 second.
Okay.
He might be done speaking. How long have we been?
I wonder how all the characters are listed here. Can you do voice volumes per character?
Yeah, I think so.
That's awesome.
Oh, you can just mute them? If you're like, I don't ever want to hear this motherfucker speak again, you can just go like, goodbye, Rosa. But then you realize that all the voice talent in this game does like really incredible jobs, so whoopsie.
The voice acting is so amazing in this game. I love it.
Rumble strength, yes, very important for me.
Mm-hmm.
Text speed, we'll speed it up just a little bit. Text box, we already did this. Song subtitles translation. Alright, we're good. But Rosa forgot about that, unable to do anything but stand there, shocked. Wow. Wait, is there supposed to be an echo on this?
Echo.
I'm hearing an echo on Beatrice's dialogue. It's been a while. Are you hearing an echo?
It does sound odd.
Have you been in good health? Oh, I'm getting an echo on...
Maybe you're having an output on 2 different things. Because it's louder for me, but it's not echo.
Oh, I probably have a monitor situation. This might have been when like I was streaming this to you while you were on your phone, so that way you could see like the chat and dialogue and like the chat and like me and everything. So I was like monitoring it. Let me check this real quick. Let me go to my audio settings. Monitor
yeah, it might be on your end.
But is this game captured? Yes, it is. It is monitor and output. Okay. Okay, then yeah, it was definitely just on my end. Crazy that apparently the dialogue has been so quiet that I've just been ignoring that this whole time. Alright. Ooh. I'm in good health. Witches don't catch colds. I can see Beatrice being like, Maria, you're the one person in this fucking family I don't hate and want to murder. You're the one person that I am like, yes, good job, my child. Witches make people catch cold with curses, but how foolish would it be if they caught one themselves? Hot witch lady, please protect us from fictional child abuse, please. Please, God.
Please.
Human, I have to ask, why did you censor the two letters in child? I know it's like normally to prevent search functions from like being able to pick up on that. I don't know if that's going to work in this context. I don't know if anyone how to put this. I don't know if anyone who would like normally be like triggered by like mentions of child abuse or something like that. Switch censors high. It's a slur.
Oh no, Fiend's gotta get banned.
Fiend, I'm sorry. I have to preserve my channel. I have to show that I can keep my chat in check. Wait, actually? Hold up. Hold up.
Yeah.
There. Perfect. This is a perfect screenshot right here. It's a slur. We have fun here. We have fun here. You should focus your energies on ensuring that you do not catch a cold yourself. I just don't want that phrase in my keyboard. You child? I don't want child in my keyboard. Oh, that's really... Eddie, I fear this is going to be one of those days where chat's way funnier than we are.
They always have been.
Yeah, that's fair. Those two words together, That's what you said.
A child.
Children. She patted Maria's head as she said this, smiling roguishly. Rosa couldn't have known the name of the woman who was happily spoiling Maria. However, Maria called to her in the beginning when she had appeared. Therefore, even though Rosa had never met her, and even though she hadn't named herself, Rosa was able to learn her name. However, the name held a special meaning on Rokenjima and the Rushiromia family. Oh! Rosa's here! Rosa's just right here!
Yes. Rosa's been here.
Gotcha.
Remember, she was doing child abuse.
She was doing child abuse. Oh, she got guilty because of the child abuse and then came out, right?
No, you forgot. She got guilty about the child abuse, and then she got mad again, so she started child abusing again.
Okay, so she came back after she felt guilty about the child abuse and then did more child abuse. Gotcha.
Mind you, Beatrice showed up like 30 seconds after Rosa has finished slapping the shit out of Maria.
Okay, gotcha. If you have child in your keyboard can get pregnant. Now you have an NFT baby. Oh. I think my keyboard is already pregnant if it has child in it. It's time to move on. It's time to move on from this bit. There's no way something so stupid could... Beatrice! Happy
Halloween!
Maria, I love you so goddamn much. You're my favorite Don't tell Battler I said this, but you're my favorite Ushiromia. Battler's pretty cool, but I like you the best, Maria. Look, brought these. Look, bought these. You can have one too.
Happy Halloween.
Beatrice, no, I want the voice director's note where he said like, no, you have to say it slower and sexier.
Oh my god.
Happy Halloween. Oh, for me, you say, I love it every time she goes, oh. Soka.
Very Krause of her.
Yeah. Even the single and only light given to a man lost in the darkest purgatory, unable to go to heaven or hell, looks truly charming when made into a candy like this. Beatrice, what the fuck are you saying about high fructose corn syrup? What kind of fucking weird ass hippie bullshit are you about to spring on us? Right now, on this island has been cut off from both the worlds of human and the world of non-humans. There may be no sweet, no suitable.
Maria,
what has happened here? Maria, why are you all child abused? Witch noticed the sweet Maria was grasping. It was Maria's candy, which had been stomped on by Rosa and taken on a pitiful shape.
They didn't want to illustrate it.
Stepped on the smash. Can you return into normal, Beato? Is this the first time anyone's actually called her Beato in, like, the story?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Beato real. Give me 1 second here.
What's up?
There we go. I changed the title of my stream.
Beato real.
It went from Beato real to Beato real. Beatrice hates HFCS because she's an anti-USAPoo. High fructose corn syrup. Heard too much about it from what's his name. Did he play ads on purpose? No, I just changed the name of my. Just changing the title of your stream play ads.
It might be counted as a different stream.
Unfucking believable.
Do you want to change your title one more time to find out?
No, I'm not doing that. I didn't get him ads for once. Weird. Maybe it's just a human thing. Maybe Twitch is like specifically fuck human. Anyways, Maria deliberately didn't say that it was her mother who had stepped on it. Even now, at like 8, she is like
she's protecting her mother.
She has learned discretion.
Mm-hmm.
However, when the witch saw the candy, for some reason, she looked at Rosa and grinned. She saw that shit. She saw that shit 100%. Which someone IRL would specifically fuck me. Who said that? I don't know. It was weird. It was like I heard someone's voice. Bizarre. Joe and Rosa's spine as though she felt that her gaze could see through every part of her. It will be easy. Give it to me. Maria held out the candy gleefully. Rosa could do nothing but watch this unfold, stunned. How could this person gloss over the fact that the candy was pitifully trampled in a way that could satisfy Maria? Maria looked as though she believed it could be fixed good as new. There was no way that could have been done without real magic. This is the easiest, hey, do you believe in witches, that Beatrice has ever done. I just gotta fix some fucking candy? Easy. Easy shit. I'm winning this, no doubt. Fuck off, Battler. My, it is quite crushed, isn't it? Come, Maria. Close your eyes and try to remember. Because it really was that wonderful a candy. The candies in our memories are always full and fluffy. Even the nuts, even the ones filled with nuts, surprisingly enough, they're also fluff. Because, so you too must close your eyes and try to remember. What kind of candy was it really? Along with these strange words, spoken as though singing an improvised folk song, the witch threw the sweet into the air. Maria had her eyes closed, just as the witch had told her, and was focused on remembering the shape that crushed candy had really been. Therefore, only Rosa saw that scene. The sweet which had thrown into the air burst into a gold color. No, those were golden butterflies. It scattered into several golden butterflies and began to assemble in the witch's hand, held up to the sky. When they had, unbelievably, the candy had returned to its beautiful original form, just like the time it had been bought.
New Rosa face.
Wow, new Rosa face. She looks. I don't know how to put this. She looks
scary.
It's not like a normal human face. This, she looks like. How do I want to put this? She looks like a gerbil that had been surprised by something.
Okay.
Look at her. She's got, it's like the small mouth with, the long nose.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Unable to understand the event that was occurring right in front of her eyes, Rosa stood with her mouth open, forgetting to shut it. It's poor manners. You may now open your eyes. Take it. Now your sleep has returned to normal. Maria's like, this is the hypest shit ever. I love witches forever. She is sugoi. Beatrice, you're always so awesome. Giggle. Rosa's like, well, I was really thinking money was important about 5 seconds ago, but
this is fucked up.
This is a very bold contrast to Rosa's shock appearances and Maria's innocently joyful one. Congratulations! You just discovered the existence of magic and powerful witches. Bad news, they just walked in on you abusing your child, and they like your kid. Was that what the witch was laughing at? A smile floated to Beatrice's face, different from the one that she had shown Maria. Does my face look familiar? If you stare so fixedly, you might burn a hole through it. I'm sorry. At those words, it hit Rosa strongly. Rosa knew her face. She knew it from the portrait of the witch. But no, wait. Was this mysterious woman really? I love how everyone is just like, how could it truly be Beatrice? And she's like, I've been trying to tell everyone that for like 5 scenes now. Fuck you. I will give this to you in exchange for that sweet. Letter. The witch pulled a western envelope from her pocket and gave it to Maria. However, when Maria made to open it, the witch stopped her. You must not. The time will come soon to open it, but until then, you must not open it under any circumstances. Well, this is gonna go radically different just from the fact that, like, Rose is like, yeah, no, it was actually Beatrice. It was fucked up. It's fucking awful. What the fuck?
Yep, basically.
Take good care of it. It will become an invitation calling you to the Golden Land. That means Beatrice, that means you're going to kill this small child. The Golden Land? You're finally gonna take me there? Gosh, I want that I want the hot witch. She's so... wow.
Correct reaction. Correct.
She's so pretty. She's so cool. She's so nice to Maria, who I also like a lot. The fact that she does vicious murder rituals, I mean, listen, let women have hobbies. Take it and tuck it away safely. You must not show it to anyone. She just stares at Rosa. And she, like, disintegrates like she's been Thanos snapped. Promise. I always keep my promises with witches. Normal people, fuck them. Witches, yeah. And this is for you. This is like another good Rosa face.
True.
Me? She probably hadn't imagined the witch would speak to her too. Even though she did technically speak to her like once, I think. Anyways, Rosa was bewildered by the second western envelope which had been thrust before her. Ooh, 2. She remembered having seen that western envelope before. There could be no mistake. It was Kinzo's special envelope, used when we wrote down with his own hand, and buried the Ushiromi at Crest. It doesn't seem like there's much reason to like any adults in silent. I don't know if Beatrice is wrong here. Really, there's not. I don't think there is. I think Battler's dad is kind of charming, and I like some of the adults from like wow, it's so fun to watch them be a bitch like angle. I think, but I'm 99% sure in my head that like Battler's dad is like a turbo bastard. Like he really did some evil shit. I'm not sure if Kyrie, like his new wife. I think she might also be a turbo bastard, but like maybe in a less culpable way than the dad. Ava's fun to watch be a bitch.
Absolutely.
But she's evil. She's like maybe one of the most evil. Natsuki's neurotic. Terrible. Natsuki's neurotic and kind of awful, but like her situation is so awful that I'm like, I can't even blame her.
Seriously.
I think that like maybe the most like perfectly like this adult is actually fine and cool is like George's dad. And like, that's it. I think that's it. I think everyone else probably goes to hell.
What's his face? The oldest servant is chill, I think.
Genji? Yeah, but yeah. I think he's let atrocities happen because he's got like one of those weird repressed homosexual relationships where he like really wants Kinzo or something. Like that man. Okay. like it's like that sort of like listen, not gay, and he's like a thing, and like I'm old, so I've got weird like internalized like homophobia. So like I'll just stand by his side and support him for all eternity while secretly craving his touch, but like nothing will ever happen.
This is so fucking detailed. I love it.
Listen, you just get that vibe from Genji. It's the emotionless servant routine, because if he lets himself feel, he'll collapse because he needs Kinzo so bad.
Okay. Okay.
Anyways.
Got it.
But yeah, I think like Kyrie is the runner-up on that, but I'm like 90. I'm like, if I'm 99% sure like Battler's dad is like a turbo bastard, I'm like 60 to 75% sure she's kind of also like culpable. Anyways.
Never be too safe.
Yep. Moreover, it was sealed with red sealing wax. All the kids are great. I love the kids. George is kind of fucked up, but like, I don't know. He's fucked up in a very normal way, where it's like he's like it's less like go to prison and more like you kind of gotta put your arm around him and be like, listen, man, you gotta think about this. This dynamic you've cultivated is like turbo fucked. Like, I know you're too deep in to see that, but like, think for a second.
Like, wake up.
Yeah, exactly. It's wake up, not, oh, you're evil. Also, like, I think he's like too normal to be evil. Like, even the ways in which he sucks are like incredibly normal ways to be fucked up.
Yeah, his biggest crime.
His biggest crime is like a weirdly large age gap for his age, and also ignoring power dynamics when entering into a relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
Which is like not great, but like compared to everyone else,
compared to murder.
Moreover, it was sealed with red sealing wax, and further still, it had an imprint which seemed to have been made by the head's ring. In other words, irrespective of what was written inside, this woman, whom Maria called Beatrice, was trusted enough that she was in charge of a personal letter from the current Uchiromiya head. It could have been any of the other 4 siblings. However, the fact that I have met you here probably means that you were chosen by Kinzo's roulette. It's so weird because, like, I'm trying to square all this shit away with, like, my other theories. Like, of just Beatrice is here and she's hanging out and she's talking with people, and I'm like, have we entered into the room where it's like the supernatural shit is going on, but like if you can prove that she's not real, there's still like an idea of how this could happen? Are we in this metaphorical realm where delusions are happening, or is like magic? I don't know. There's like a really interesting interplay here that I don't think they're going to be explaining anytime soon. But I also like how do I want to phrase this? I've hit the point where even if I can get evidence that directly contradicts any of my theories, I'm like, the point of the story, like point I'm at with the story right now is that I'm just going to ignore that and say that no, that wasn't real. That's like that's not the real explanation. Like that's like some shit. If it like, I feel like there's like 2 scenarios here, right? There's the scenario is like, if Beatrice and magic are real, then events go out this one way. If there is if it isn't, then it goes out. Then this is how everything is working out, and like they're both playing out simultaneously, I guess. So, like in the real world, I think that the thing is like that multiple personality thing with like Sharon that I mentioned earlier. But then if the magic is real, then Beatrice is just here, I guess, and she's just doing her thing. I don't know. She's fighting to make herself real, I guess.
Yeah. Sounds solid.
Whatever.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It could have been any of the 4 siblings. However, the fact that I have met you here probably means that you were chosen by Kinzo's roulette. So take it. Read its content aloud. We'll see it at the dinner table when all the siblings are gathered. Oh! So wait a second. She's got the, hey, all your shit's mine letter? What the fuck does Maria have then?
She has candy.
She does have that. You're right. What did you say? I just want to get to the point where Beatrice's wife has filled the house with chins and battlers here to keep it real. God. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't understand like even a little bit of like that last half of that sentence, but I vibe with it.
What's a chintz?
I don't know. I'm trying really desperately to not interpret that as some sort of slur, despite its extraordinarily slur-like mouthfeel.
Yeah.
It's like, you say it out loud, and I'm like, that doesn't...
That feels bad.
It's got like a Z on the end and like a lot of hard consonants. That feels like a slur.
It does. Interesting vocabulary.
Listen, there's like an etymology to slurs. That's not like, I don't think that's a new thing, right? I think if you broke it down, you could see some certain commonalities. And I'm not saying this technology could allow you to create new slurs, but it would definitely... But anyways, what is chins?
I'm Googling this!
Do it. Rosa looked back and forth several times between the witch's face and the envelope which she had been handed. Today was the family conference, and the biggest subject of discussion was the inheritance problem. So she had joined together with Ava and Rudolph, and they had planned to force certain conditions upon Kraus to try to extort prompt payment of several hundred million yen out of him. Yeah, we were going to blackmail the fuck out of him. It was as if the witch could see through all of that. And when all the siblings are gathered, what is she planning on announcing to us?
The what?
Envelope. The what? Putting to Google something to make sure I don't do a nipple play joke again.
Oh, okay.
Wait, and no, wait a second.
Nip.
Okay, yeah, no, that's
nipple.
okay. I had to like spell out nipple again really quick just to make sure I got the fucking, just to make sure I got the fucking like letters right.
Based off of what I googled, chintz is a like fabric pattern type.
Oh, neat.
But
that doesn't
the house chintz.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily make sense in this context, huh?
What does it mean in this context?
We're so desperate.
We're so stupid.
Remember when I censored every letter except for N because I'm a fool? Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah,
No, I remember the nipple play issue. I get that. But like you need more. You need more in there than just the N because they I'm like human that was 6 letters, please. Not 5. You can't. Google his wife has filled his house with chintz. Interesting. Anyway, Eddie, I'm going to trust.
Tacky stuff, cheap stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh, Kitski, right?
Yeah,
Kitski. But a Kitski or whatever. But Google saying, sorry, human is saying to Google specifically the phrase his wife has filled his house with chintz.
Oh.
Fucking ads. It's rough.
Fucking ads. Okay, I will Google that. Google. Being at them too this time.
The weather's getting worse. Return to the guest house and wait for lunchtime. Well then, Rosa, let us meet later. Oh, this is a good Beatrice face. I like this. Rosa, you're fucked. You're so fucked. You're like turbo fucked. Like, I'm surprised if she makes it past like night 1 in this route. Sorry, I completely disrailed the scene. No, that's fine. I like hanging out with chat. Like, I like Umineko because I basically like I'm reading for like half of the time. And then, like, the rest is split 50-50 between, like just fucking around with chat and, like, me going off with, like, the most wild theories that I could possibly come up with. And I think that's beautiful. I think that's great.
Oh, I see.
Oh. Okay, what's going on, Eddie?
It's a Tumblr post.
Okay. Okay, you know
how Tumblr gets, they get all fucking nerdy and long replies and shit. I'm not reading that shit.
You know what?
You just said it was from Tumblr.
You really, like, the second you said it was from Tumblr, I'm like, you know what? I got it.
Enough.
That's good.
I got it.
I'm like, there's a chance that this is like one of the rare times where Tumblr's like very concise with their humor. But I'm like, no, this is going to be like 5 text posts in a row, at least 3 things that rely on you being able to see a hashtag. There's probably going to be some weird video that plays halfway through that gives additional context. I'm like, you know what? Tumblr, gotcha.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's exactly it. Okay. Moving on!
There's a whole comic! Of course there's a whole comic!
Yeah, there is.
Well, then, Rosa, let us meet later. Allow me to name myself there. Witch turned her back to her, laughing, and headed off towards the mansion with an air of composure.
So sorry, human.
Maria saw her off with an energetic reply and then dashed off towards the guest house, leaving Rosa where she was, wondering if she's finally snapped. As though she didn't want to waste a second in informing the other cousins for good fortune of meeting the witch. Ultimately, Rosa was left around the Rose Garden as the winds grew stronger. Unable to do anything except pray that what happened was a daydream. Basically, I want Battler to fuck her on the floor in so many words. Incredible. Thanks, human.
I mean...
Cheers to... cheers.
On the floor.
Human, cheers. I'll drink to that, bro. When the witch entered the entrance hall, Genji was there. Oh, so she's just hanging out. Okay, she's like, everyone knows she's there. Gotcha.
Yep.
With a respectful bow, Genji welcomed the guests who approached from the entrance hall. We have been awaiting you. I hear you're here to fuck the man that I love.
Oh my god.
It's been a while, Genji. You got old. Oh, you did it! I got it! I called it! I love it when I say the line and then the game says the line and I'm like, I could have written Umineko. And then I'm like, no, I couldn't have.
No, you can't.
No.
Can't see you writing this.
Eddie, it's fine. I accept that I accept that Ryukishi 07 is probably better than I'm ever gonna be. But that's a high bar, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
No matter how old it is, furniture will only carry out its work like furniture until the end. She's like, wow, I've always hated that about you, Genji. You suck. I do remember how his wife used to be jealous of you. Eddie? Eddie! What am I?
What? Stop looking at
I'm gesturing wildly at the camera. I'm like, come on!
This ain't shit!
Is Kinzo well? He is full of life. She's like, damn, oh well. I was really hoping to avoid having to talk to him again. Witch's laugh was probably because she knew that Kinzo's own doctor had told him that he would not live much longer. However, if anyone actually looked at Kinzo, his energy and vigor, which made it extremely difficult to imagine that his remaining life really was slim, might make it natural to call him full of life. I do remember how his wife used to be jealous of you on that gawk. See, this is why I like having, like, Eddie streaming her camera to me while this is going on, because I can glance over after I say some head-ass shit like that, or, like, repeat something that Human said, and just glance over and see her just go, like...
Are you repeating the motion?
Maybe a little bit. Don't worry about it.
My god.
Maybe the witch had laughed at that. Then let us greet him. It will be good to hurl curses at each other after 30 years. Oh, I see. So their relationship is... So her relationship to Kinzo is identical to what's going to be happening with Battler. Gotcha. I can't wait to see the flash forward at the end of the series and see, like, a 70, 60-year-old, like, Battler just being like, Beato.
I was wondering, because you kept making connections between, like, their two designs, and I was like, I wonder if that's going to start theorizing they're the same character.
That's, like, a tempting thing, especially now that you said it out loud. I'm gonna resist the urge to throw time travel! He's his own grandfather into the mix, because that's, like, listen, there's gonna be some wild shit that happens. I feel like that may actually be too much. Nothing will beat Eddie sighing you when you almost implied you fuck Evie. Yeah, no, I think about that one a lot, all the time. I'm telling you guys, having Eddie's face, being able to look over and just see her expression has made this like it's at least 25% better for me personally as an experience.
I'm gonna turn off the camera so you can start fucking focusing on the game. Oh my god.
As the witch grinned, she started walking, leaving Genji behind. Her gait was like that of a family member who knew the inside of the mansion well. Genji followed her as though he served her. I mean, yeah, kind of. It makes it better for me vicariously. Good.
Okay, fine. I'll keep it on. For human.
Good job, human. Good job. Thank you. At the very moment, Kyrie came out of the portal. This is like the least, the only one who could have come out who would be less connected to this whole shit would be like fucking like George's dad. That moment, she'd probably come out to fix her makeup or something. When she saw Genji following the way, she was surprised, although her expression did not change. She's like, huh.
Whatever.
That's no. Suspicious scent. There was this visitor for Kinzo, whose remaining life was not long, on the day of the family conference, when the fate of the inheritance was to be decided. Also, she's walking in front of her own portrait right now.
That's awesome.
And furthermore, this person was well enough acquainted with the Yoshiromiya family that Genji was following behind her. I do like how this is like theme of intrigue, but it's more than that. It has like hints of theme of dipshit.
I love this theme so much. It's so good.
Kyrie immediately realized that this person who she had never met before was someone deeply important. Kyrie met eyes with the witch. Realizing that it would be rude to pretend not to notice, she greeted the witch. Pleased to meet you. Rudolph's second wife. That is correct. This is Kyrie-sama, Rudolph-sama's current wife. From this exchange, Kyrie realized this woman was a guest of considerably high rank within the Yoshiromiya family. And the fact that she was a guest at that level, coupled with the face of the entry, she's like, oh yeah, that face, okay, gotcha, made Kyrie's eyes open wide in an instant.
I wonder.
She's like, I'm updating that shit. Old selfie, sorry about that. Anyways, I'm gonna look a little... It doesn't look cunty enough. I need to look cuntier.
The artist didn't have enough time.
I always love the little butterflies in the TX box. Have they always been there, or did they appear when Beatrice did? They've
always been there.
Well, actually, no, they weren't. Because remember, we swapped through a couple different text boxes, and we're like, ooh, the one with the butterflies is great.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'm used to the version with the butterflies.
It's definitely been here for, since, before Chapter 1. During, the early bits of Chapter 1. We discovered that, I think, stream 2 or 3.
Yep.
Something like that. My name is Kyrie. I wonder if this is our first meeting. If we did meet each other before, I apologize for forgetting your name. You already have a vague idea, yet you expect me to waste my breath. She's like, you dead ass, you cannot see my painting right there. Fuck you.
Did you even read the thing?
She's like, listen. If you're Beatrice and I say Beatrice out loud, then we're both crazy. Kyrie had thought she'd given her a sociable and humble greeting. She's like, I have drastically overestimated my own social standing in this interaction. Her expression grew slightly cloudy at the openly oppressive response. It didn't seem like this was a person she could grow to like. Too bad. Sorry, that's your son-in-law, kind of. I'm sorry, that's your daughter-in-law. Whoops.
I was gonna say, I was like,
Battler is her son-in-law. I just kind of was halfway through the thought, and I was already thinking of Battler. So then it kind of swapped around from daughter-in-law to son-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize. But if Kyrie's imagination was correct, this witch likely held a huge key to what her own husband was most interested in, and one that stood a great chance of influencing tonight's family conference. So she did not shoot back a retort and could only watch in silence as the woman went up the stairs to the second floor, and she following behind. Wow, she's so cool. So when someone tapped her shoulder from behind, she was so surprised she almost choked.
Oh my god.
It was Nazi.
Kirie-san?
Women be gossiping immediately.
Seriously.
Standing still in a place like this, is something the matter? I'm sorry. She's the kind of I'm imagining she's gonna like almost start to say, I just saw Beatrice, and then she's like gonna stop herself and be like, what the fuck am I saying?
I mean, it wouldn't be wrong. She's right there in the background.
I was just a little fascinated by the portrait. Wait, where did the new portrait come from? Was that just like a metaphor?
I don't know. I forgot.
Anyways, the Golden Witch, Beatrice, was it? Something like that. The revival of the Yushiromi family to what it is today would never have been possible without the gold she gave. A fantastical story, very much like Father. Natsuki spoke of her in her usual way. She spoke from the position of the idea that the witch was just foolish, and that in the end it was nothing more than Kinzo's ramblings. However, for some reason, no longer felt right to Kyrie, mostly because she had seen the bitch just walking up the stairs like 2 seconds ago and had a conversation with her. Just now, she had herself seen the Golden Witch come in from the entrance hall and climb up the God, why am I even so... I gotta just keep clicking. So Natsuki's choice of words seemed almost like a refusal to accept her existence, or as if she was leading her to think that she did not exist. I'm sorry. I think I'm feeling a bit of a headache. I think I'll rest for a little while. That's so. I have some good headache medicine. She's like, finally, another bitch with a fucking headaches. I can finally relate to somebody in this goddamn family. Allow me to prepare it for you. She's so excited. I get to show off and not have one of my servants accidentally fuck it up because everyone's around me is a bitch.
Oh my god.
The hallway in front of Kinzo's study was filled with the scent of sweet poison, particular to that green liqueur. Oh, absinthe. Wormwood. Specifically. Genji, who was completely used to it, did not grimace, and the Golden Witch didn't grimace either. He was like, yeah, I know he's a drunk. When was the last time he left this room? This God. Really does feel like, I can't believe this motherfucker. Why can't he be normal? I believe it has already been several years. Bruh. He is that intent on making me a bird in a cage. Alas, now you, who made that wish, are a bird in a cage. Oh, he is gay. I thought I was mostly joking before, but yeah, Genji is probably actually gay for Kinzo. I'm treating that as a confirmation.
Sorry, what did they just say?
He is that intent on making me a bird in a cage. Alas, now you, who made that wish, are the bird in the cage. Oh, yeah. Wait, she's talking about Kinzo. I thought she was talking about Genji, and I'm like, actually gay?
Genji gay? Kinzo gay?
No, Kinzo.
I'm just kidding.
Kinzo is you know what? I'm gonna say he's probably unfortunately heterosexual.
Unfortunate for everyone involved here.
Really, just no one who's involved in the fact that he is heterosexual is happy to be there. The ghost in the study, are you not? What a pitiful man to not recognize that. He would probably continue his research until the day he could meet you again, even if he literally became a ghost. Is it love, or madness, or obsession? I suppose they too will become magic if well enough developed. You sad mage. The witch grasped the doorknob to the study. When she did, there was a sound like flesh burning and splitting open. It was the sound of the doorknob literally burning the witch's hand. He's like, you know, for someone who wants to, like, you know, see Beatrice again before he dies, he really did just put a fuck off all witches doorknob on his door.
Yeah.
This feels kind of bad.
Messages here.
Yeah, that was like, bitch. What is this? A magic ward? She's like, fuck. That fool, is he unable to get by without relying on something with this? Something like this? I like how she's like kind of realizing like, oh my god, he's actually more incompetent than I thought he was. I have heard that this door is painful for you, Beatrice. Shall I open it? No, it's fine. If he doesn't want to see me that bad, fuck him. If he wins, I will be a bird in a cage for all eternity. If he loses, only the life of a laughingstock will be left. The life of a pitiful mage who went mad with love and lost everything. Already, Kinzo and I are even. Kinzo and even I are nothing more than pieces laid out on the game board. All that is left are the results of the roulette to decide who wins and who loses. And then Battler's just kind of like glancing around, just like, me? I'm the winner?
It's me?
Until the roulette shows its result, there's no need for me to be reunited with Kinzo. I can imagine if Kinzo knew this conversation was happening, I think he would literally he would hit the door so hard his head would pop through. The witch looked at her hand, which, although horribly burned, was beginning to heal bit by bit. And so the ward, perhaps. I see that too. I see that is also honorable. Now everything is on top of Kinzo's game board. I like it, Kinzo. Allow me to enjoy my game with you. Allow me to enjoy the final gamble that followed an aged mage who fell in love with me and threw away all his life. Why can't anyone in this game just talk to each other? Why do they have to be like this?
Yay.
They're so normal. Who is it? Excuse me. Canon's like seething. He's so mad. He's so mad.
He is so mad.
Oh no, am I Kinzo in this scenario? Because I love her. You see... No, because you haven't
because you're not Kinzo.
Because you're not an old rich white man. And also 30 years removed from the situation. Excuse me, I brought lunch. Enter. Excuse me. Canon's like... I wonder if Canon's... I feel like if anyone in this game would ever spit into somebody's food, it'd be Canon. But,
I can see that.
After receiving approval, Canon entered the VIP room, pushing the lunch serving cart. The servants called this room the Witch's VIP room. That's because they had been strictly ordered by Kinzo to always keep it clean so that it could be used at any time. And yet guests were never allowed into this room, no matter who they were. That's why at some point the servants had started calling it the Witch's VIP room, supposedly to be set aside to only welcome the special person Kinzo was waiting for, the witch from the portrait. Today, Canon learned that this was entirely correct.
Yes.
Should I get donuts? Yes. Yes. I feel like the man named Kinzo Ushiromiya is not a white man, but I could be wrong. Worse, he wants to be a white man.
Free a boo.
He is absolutely a Westaboo. That man named every single one of his children Western, English names.
Yeah.
He could not want to be a white man more if he tried. When he entered the room, I should also get donuts tomorrow. That's a good idea.
I want donut.
You can go get donuts.
Can you get me donut?
I mean, yeah, if you want me to.
Yay.
Yeah. When he entered the room, the witch with the golden hair was gazing out into the window. Oh, this is a cute room. I know I've technically been looking at this for a little bit, but it's only just now, I'm only just now processing it. I like it. Eddie, get donuts right now immediately.
Hey.
You're under orders. Humans rules.
But there's no place open.
Wait approximately 3 hours, and those places will all be starting up, so you can get them the hottest and freshest they've ever been. All you have to do is break in.
True.
When into the room, the witch with the golden hair was gazing out the window. Okay. Outside, the rain had already... Jesus! 2 CGs for this one room. We're gonna be here a lot. Outside, the rain had already started to gather strength. As she looked out into the beautiful rose garden, which had taken several days' work to make ready for today, and saw the winds and rain ravage it, she was lost in some sentimental feelings. Was she lost in some sentimental feelings? Ken was not able to infer anything more than from her back that faced him. I will prepare your meal, Beatrice-sama. So Ken went out of his way to call out the witch's name because he wanted to make her turn around. He wanted to know. He wanted to know whether the witch who had tempted him and Shin in the past really appeared again. When he did, the witch whose name had been called kept her back to him and laughed. Laughed in a subdued voice. She's like, you thought... Once again, her entire personality is like 50% you thought by mass. Cannon was startled. It was almost as though she had read his mind and knew that she had called to her in a desire to make her turn around. Smells good. Here's the Krause is employed a good cook. He's so mad! He's a cook called Goda, who's employed in recent years. There's nothing better than being skilled at cooking. No, my freaking battery, I'm so intrigued. Do you have a charger nearby that you can use?
Oh, no.
I mean, probably not because you're complaining about your battery. But... Gourmet foods forms one of the 3 pillars of pleasures of life in the human world. The secrets of not tiring of 1,000 years to have it in sufficiency.
Is this for me? Oh, that's scary.
Oh, that is scary. Hey, charge
Should I have a clown emote?
Yeah. Just make it your clown soda. Like do like your clown son, and then it just like someone like honking their nose or something.
I can tell it is a clown. It's just like when I look at it closer, it's like, kind of scary.
It's like the elements are clashing too much. It's a clown, a gift. This is a gift.
Thank you.
This is a present for you.
Thank you.
Ken, the witch's eyes met, and she grinned. There could be no doubt, not even the slightest. This is without a doubt the witch from that day, Beatrice, and your own third personality, the one that you hate. The witch that once visible only to him and Shannon had finally held a form and had arrived openly throughout the entrance hall as a guest. Damn, it really sucks when your third personality finally gets to be so potent that she develops a tulpa and just manifests in front of everyone that you work with. That's really awkward.
That's so awkward. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Treat it. Oh, sorry. It's Oregon short number 600 million in C minor is such a good name for a song. It's been a long time. Furniture called Canon. It has been a long time. You know what? I think one of my favorite things about Beatrice is that she just loves doing what she does. Like, every single second that I've seen her on screen, I'd be like, she's having a great time, honestly.
Yeah.
Canon tried not to forget a modicum of courtesy towards the guests, but dark clouds began to enshroud his heart because of the visit of the suspicious witch, and on the day of the family conference at that. Sorry for this scary gift. There's no problem. But it is I do feel like it's like you just got handed a creepy cute doll. And you're just like, actually, this isn't more creepy than cute. I don't know about this. like it's like a threshold thing. You have to decide what level each of your friends are ready for. It looks to me that you are dying to know my purpose in appearing here. Isn't that so? Shut up. Shut up! Canon didn't force himself to answer. This witch probably reads minds, so it would be pointless to go to all the trouble of saying it out loud. Of course, even that rebellious spirit of his would be read. So the witch snickered at Canon's childish resistance. I came to resolve my final promise with Kinzo. Your final promise with the master. And then Kinzo, a mountain of gold. When Kinzo gives that up, it will be returned to me with interest. I came here tonight to receive that. I don't know what you're talking about. However, anxiety began to gather in his heart. The witch has never had anything good to say. Ooh.
Those are some interesting ones. I like chat.
Yeah, I like the chat brat. Oh, these are all global.
Oh. That last one looks like Hempoli.
It does. I
Nonsense Hempoli.
The September one is like, part of me is almost like, should Hempoli be concerned about copyright infringement? I can't believe there's an official Hempoli email. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You are not wrong. Witches have nothing good to say. God, it really sucks to have your mind read like that. You are correct. Be that as it may, witches, like blunt scissors, can be put to use. Sometimes with people like King Solomon who succeed in great exploits. In most cases, one does not meet with a good fate such as those described in fairy tales, of course. But Kinzo is crafty. He has incorporated even my collection of interest into his own ritual. Is he a tremendous mage, surpassing even me? No. Or is he a fool possessed by madness? Yes. Interesting. Truly interesting. Kenon couldn't guess what the witch was muttering and laughing about. It's like, this bitch is crazy. All he knew was that anything the witch deemed worthy of laughter was probably very annoying. He must have the exact opposite meaning to the rest of them. And rising to the back of his mind were the horrifying words the witch had spat at him in the past. Do you think I would lend them that power without any compensation? I'll lend a hand in love. My compensation shall be one ticket to watch the cruel fate that the two of them will eventually meet. Even after 1,000 years, no better show exists. Gosh, I want her. She's so cool. If Kenon had a gun, he would have already emptied the clip. Could it be you? I do love this sprite just from the sheer amount of like, dead. I want you dead. Like that was managed to be incorporated into it. I think that's I think that's an important expression to be able to have in your arsenal.
Her little blushy.
This is like, what if Ava was like young, had access to supernatural powers, and like was slightly less of a bitch? I really think that Ava, like, even after all of this, like she's gonna do some shit, and Beatrice is like, damn, not even I would go that far. That's like over the line, actually. Behold the sweet fish river running through my beloved home of old. You who seek the golden land, follow its path downstream in search of the key. The witch suddenly began to recite a bizarre poem that, you know, everyone should be familiar with because it's in the it's like the first thing you see when you walk into the mansion. It was something he remembered hearing. Could it be the witch's epitaph? There was no doubt. It was the epitaph accompanying the portrait of the witch that had been hung by Kinzo. The relatives imagined that it would almost certainly pointed to the location of the hidden gold. No one knew what it meant. The witch had suddenly begun reciting that epitaph. As furniture, you must have heard about this from Kinzo. The day when everything will be returned to the golden land has come. Rejoice. The time has finally come for your shameful days as furniture to end.
ようやく終わる時がやってきたのだ。お前はそれをずっと望んできたはず。自らに存在価値を持たぬ家具にとって、ただ存在するだけの日々は苦痛に他ならない。魂ある者にとって、うつしおは固執すべきものだが、亡き者にとってうつしおは苦害しかないからの。
For those with souls, the world of the living is worth clinging on to, but those without it find it to be nothing but suffering. I do kind of appreciate that, like a lot of like Beatrice's stuff to canon isn't even the fact that like she kind of hates him, even though she like you can tell they don't like each other, but like it's like way more like I hate you for canon, whereas like with Beatrice is like you're kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But even then, like most of her shit towards him is like, "Where's your fucking anger? Rise, rise, rise!" Like, what the fuck are you doing? Just, do you not want to be more than this? Fucking furniture shit? Come on! Complicated expressions flitted across Cannon's face. It was the day of release that he'd been looking forward to. However, the coming of this day had been mercilessly sudden. And that hateful tone of the witch who had proclaimed this day of rest made it somehow difficult to accept. Kenan wasn't able to decide what emotion he should feel. Why are you not happy? Could you actually still have some attachment to this world? Rise, rise, rise! As furniture? I have no attachments because I am furniture. You're a real fucking A+ dipshit, you are. You truly are a model piece of furniture. Very good, very good. However, to have no lingering regrets at all, how deeply uninteresting this is. Are you saying that regrets are your pleasure? Precisely! Those witches who live for 1,000 years get tired of life. In order to escape boredom, I adorn people's faces with fruit and brandy and cook them like cakes. Precisely. Most witches... Oh, sorry. I find humans dancing through oppressive fates inside of an oven to be so very entertaining. I've made somewhat of a name for myself in this field, you know. So much so that unexpected guests occasionally come from afar to witness my culinary skills. It's like she said, she respects people who cook. She cooks. Mere furniture can't understand this. I am wasting my time. Conan wasn't able to understand what the witch was saying. However, he realized well enough that this was a terrifying being. He treated the fates of humans as a show. He was getting enjoyment out of doing them some kind of harm. However, furniture had no soul or life, much less a fate. Pitiful furniture did nothing but serve until the day they would be released from the world. To furniture like that, the witch, who had come to release them from everything, was a being overflowing with mercy. Damn, so he was suicidal. He was like awaiting the day of release despite being furniture, when explicitly here the day of release to furniture is like the day they die. Even though the day Canon had been waiting impatiently had come, he was unable to readily accept it, and this greatly bewildered him. Oh, this is the suspension bridge effect. Or God, maybe I'm misremembering it, but it's that thing that happens. So like, despite basically in almost every single case of someone trying to kill themselves, what ends up happening is like after they've committed, like after they have done the thing that would normally kill themselves, like in almost every single case, they've realized that like, oh wait, this is fucked up. I want to live. I want to live so badly. And so like, I think that like the name of this, because it famously comes from like people who like jumped off of bridges or like big ass bridges in the past. Like if they survived, they were like, I realized about like a quarter of the way down that this is bullshit and I wanted to live, actually.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I didn't realize there was a name for that.
Maybe the suspension bridge effect is something else. Maybe I'm thinking about something else. In fact,
do you want me to Google it?
Give me 2 seconds. I think I will. Oh, suspension bridge effect. No, that's completely different. That's something else that'll probably be relevant in this game. Actually, that's when people are like, they misattribute their physiological responses to fear as romantic arousal. It's like if you're in like a really scary situation with somebody, but like you're like, my heart is pounding so fast, and like you start to like, and like you have all these fear reactions happening. And because you're with somebody else in that situation, that those wires get crossed a little bit, and you're like, am I into this person? So like it's attributed to like people being in dangerous situations together, creating romantic bonds that sometimes fall apart pretty quickly because it's just based off like a fear effect instead of anything else. So yeah, suspension bridge effect I was completely off on.
I understand what you mean though.
Yeah, but I want to figure out what it is.
How is the chat tonight?
Well, now I'm just on a now. I just Googled this and I'm like, I Googled wanting to live after a suicide attempt name. And now I'm on a list because I'm getting a bunch of things like, help is available, contact people you trust, call 988, text 988, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm just trying to remember a name. Maybe if I put psychology and I'm like, no, I'm not on a list. Well, whatever. I'm not going to hold it up for too much longer. I just wanted to see if maybe there was like a quick thing that I could Google, but maybe there isn't like a name for it, I guess. Why was that? The face of Shannon, the person he loved as a sister, rose to his mind. It's kind of interesting, especially if we go with this theory that like they're all the same person. That like this is like these are all like kind of expressing a form of self-love in a way that's like a way that allows them to distance themselves from their own actual sense of self-worth. Like the different aspects of like Shannon or Canon or whoever you want to determine as like the base individual in this situation, like they all love each other. Well, to a certain extent. I think Beatrice is almost like more of like this idea of like a defensive mechanism, or like even maybe like an ideation of self-harm in some ways, like the more violent aspects of their personality coming out, even though Canon was already kind of like a more aggressive version. But like this kind of like looping sort of thing where it's like none of these characters, like none of these like versions of themselves like each other, like themselves, except for like Beatrice. But like they love the other aspect of them. I don't know exactly where I'm going with this, but I feel like I wanted to comment on it, or at least like kind of like point out this thing that I'm thinking about, I guess.
I'm sorry. I've been trying to find this term. Can you too long didn't read it? Really quick, what you just said to me.
Jump off. Try jump off a bridge.
No, not that. What you just said.
Oh, this thing of like
Shannon, Canon, Beatrice, I think.
Yeah, so like the whole, remember my theory of like they're all like the same person.
Yes.
But like this like weird thing where like Canon and Shannon hate themselves. Like, I think I think it's like pretty clear that they all, like, both of them have like really bad like self-worth issues between all the furniture shit and like they feel like they don't deserve certain things, or like they're useless, or like, you know, that I'm not ever going to be anything, I don't deserve anything, that sort of thing. But they love each other. And like that's how like they kind of come in through this like idea of like self-worth, despite having no. That's how they kind of come to like love themselves without actually having any self-worth or sense of self-worth. As opposed to Beatrice, who like kind of hates both of them, or like finds entertainment in like their suffering, but also like very much loves herself. I think that she's very like whatever. Hey, how are you doing? What's happening in Umineko? I'm currently talking a lot about some theories about like just other stuff that I've seen, but as of right now, hey, Beatrice is here and she's just like hanging out. Like she's like, you know how I was like hiding in like the first version of these events, or like maybe it wasn't me or something. No, she's just like, I'm chilling in the guest room actually. Come bring me some food. I'm hungry. Anyways. And for some reason, Jessica's face did too. Can't catch me, gay thoughts.
What's up, video
I do really appreciate that no matter how this like canon shit, like if I'm right about this canon Shannon thing, they're gay in some way. Because it's like either Canon's like the base person and like gay relationship with George, or like Shannon is like the base person and like lesbians with Jessica. Either way, no matter how this shakes up, somebody in this equation is gay.
But what about your ultimate ship, that Canon and Battler?
Well, you see, this works out because then you're in a bisexual throuple with the same person. You see, then he can kiss Jessica, then he can kiss Canon, and he can kiss Beatrice, and it's fine. That should happen. Thank you, Video Tree. I'm glad people support my vision in this.
It's interesting.
I just think that the tension is there, and like I don't know, you can do a lot with that.
Okay.
She's just like,
I mean,
sure.
fuck it, I'm down.
She's like, sure, let's go ahead and put you to bed now, Grandpa. You're talking crazy again.
I'm gonna go get some water. You keep going.
Canon bit his lower lip painfully. Thinking of Jessica was not permitted for furniture. Sorry, you're not allowed to like people. You've been aware of that and found fault with Shannon's relationship, so how could you remember Jessica at a time like this? Because you're a fucking person, dipshit, that comes with the human condition.
No, he's furniture.
No, he's furniture. He felt a little ashamed by how weak he was. And to forget about Jessica, he turned his thoughts to Shannon. Shannon is also furniture. And on the day everything returns to nothing, there should be no reason she shouldn't be happy. But Shannon, through her relationship with George, had come to know an emotion that shouldn't be known by furniture. Even though she wasn't qualified to be bound with them, she was still wallowing in a dream that she wasn't permitted to have. Could Shannon accept something like this now with open arms? Fuck no. Possible. Shannon would have lingering regrets. That would probably become a great source of pain and torture to Shannon. And those regrets had been planted by none other than this witch. Sorry, you can't even die without being fucked up about it. It's over. Also, just like the institutionalized like knowledge of like your furniture, killing the day you die is the best day of your life. I feel bad for Canon thinking about himself like this, but he's also kind of dumb about it. I mean, it's really interesting that Beatrice is like, as much as she like professes like, and this is kind of going back to my like all three of these people are the same person theory, that like Beatrice is like almost like trying to like, even though she doesn't like them or like is professing to like be an antagonistic force to them, despite trying to help like Shannon in a way, like she's trying to like shock them out of this this suicidal sort of like disregard for their own lives in a way. And I guess you could see that as sort of a defense, like a psychological defense mechanism, if like you're going through this theory.
Interesting.
Because especially now with this information that like being a furniture means that you and like the day you die is the happiest day of your life, and like you are disposable in like that sort of way. I think it like becomes even more of like, I don't know. It's super interesting. Even, I'm not gonna lie, even if this entire theory is bullshit, which it very well may be, I may be so far up my own ass with this shit. I'm having such a blast, like thinking and looking at the story through this lens. I think it's really fun. Why? Just because that would be more interesting. Shannon should have been waiting impatiently for this day, but now she will have emotions that she must not know. So, if... I guess if you kind of expound upon that, then, like... I guess in this case, that makes canon, like, their death drive.
Death drive.
So, some psychologists argue that, like, humans have this, like, weird fascination with death, and, like, kind of have this sort of inherent, like, desire to kill themselves in some way. I'm probably paraphrasing this horribly because I've read about this, like, 2 or 3 times, and, like, that was probably years ago. So, I mean, obviously take what I'm saying with a giant grain of salt, but, like...
Sorry.
I've been doing a lot of talking. But if it's true, they should add a 4th person into the mix, in my opinion, just to make it more confusing. Oh, don't worry. If that's the case, we'll probably see who they were before, like, they got so psychologically fucked up that they developed multiple personalities. And that's going to be the one that's really fucked. I guess in this case, that kind of makes, like, canon the death drive is, like, the part of her that, like, wanted to kill herself. Or, like, themselves, or however the fuck this shakes out. I'm kind of stuck thinking as, like, Shannon is, like, the base person, instead of, like, it being, like, canon or something like that, because canon fits so much better as kind of an offshoot, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna start treating, like, Shannon like she's quote-unquote the real one. But, like, she was living this horrific servant life where she was constantly being abused and degraded, and, like everyone was treating her like garbage, and she had this, like, internalized, like, furniture shit that was being pounded into her head ever since, like, she was a kid, because, like, she grew up in this, like, state-sponsored orphanage to brainwash kids into, like, being perfect servants for the Ushiromias. And then that caused and then something happened. I'm sure if this is the case that there will be some sort of inciting incident where something really fucked up happened to her, like, as part of being a servant, or, like, being this preparation process. And at some point, like, that split off and became canon. And canon is sort of like their sort of desire for death. Like the way, like, canon talks about, like, wanting to be able to kill themselves, and, like, how he's bringing up all this stuff about furniture should be, like, looking forward to the day they die. And it's, like, the fact that he's upset that, like, Beatrice has changed things so that Shannon will now have lingering regrets when she passes, and, like, will not want to kill herself because of that, or not want to die because of that. And of course, though, a lot of that is also, like, resentment and anger kind of focused outward as well. Like, it's towards the people around them. It's towards, like, even people, like, who kind of reach out every once in a while, like Jessica, because they don't get it, they don't understand. And, like, something where, like, it's that kind of aspect obviously would have, like, a lot of, like, I don't know, resentment and anger. And, like, some of that's focused inwards, a lot of that's focused outwards as well, but that doesn't really contradict the Death Tribe theory that I'm coming up with. And then, like, that conversation with Ava happens where she's like, sorry, kill yourself? You're not going to, like, ever even look at my son again? Fuck you. You're not worth the shit on his shoes. And, like, that snaps her out of it so bad that she creates a third personality of Beatrice, who then, like, proceeds to, like, snap them both out of it, or is, like, attempting to snap both of them out of that, but, like, Canon's, like, way more devoted to it than Shannon is. Sorry, I'm just talking. I'm just going on. Anyways, we should probably get back to, like, actually reading the story instead of trying to, like, I'm swerving like randomly across the like a very straight road, you know? Yeah. Like, it's like I should be reading it, and it's like, no, it's gonna go this way.
It's funny.
Yeah. Shannon should have been waiting, but now she will have emotions she wants not know, and will probably have a very hard time forced upon. I thank you for gifting us furniture the day of our release. And I hate you for making this day difficult for Shannon to accept. Well, I mean, I don't think that Canon realizes that hate that he's feeling right now is also an emotion that furniture should not feel. Which I think is very fun. I think that's, like, nice and ironic. I think he's like a very, like, fun, contradictory character. I wanted to make you feel pain from your regrets as well, just like Shannon. However, with stubborn simplicity, you continue to remain furniture and never allowed me to lead you on. However, it looks like you loved Shannon too dearly, didn't you? Of course, he's part of her. Like, the part of her that wants to, like, let go of, like, this life that's been nothing but suffering. Shannon's regrets became your regrets. Yeah, tell me more about that. Will that turn to hatred? Will that turn into hatred for me? If you want to kill me, you can try. It's Kinzo's furniture. You should have that much power at least. However, if you kill me, the day of rescuing furniture will not come for all eternity. If you kill me, you will never die. Is not quite a threat that you would normally make. That's a hell of a threat, just for how rare it is. Could you withstand that? Could you really reject your release by me? And once again, it really does feel it's like Beatrice is, like, goading them in a way towards this, like, wanting to accept life. Of course, she's saying it's to do it because it's funny it's funnier when, like, it goes wrong. But, like, even still, it's like, reject being furniture, reject wanting to die. Regardless of the fact that she is planning on, like, killing them, like, if we read this from, like, the perspective, then it's like, it seems super clear that it's like a psychological defense mechanism. But yeah, she's saying she likes the entertainment, of course, and, like, I'm sure that, like, whatever, like the magic version of events, like, where Beatrice is just a separate person and, like, real or whatever, and, like, all this magic shit is happening, and the tea party and Bern Castell's, like, hanging around or whatever. Then, like, this is playing out, like, a kind of a different way. It's, like, more stereotypical. But in quote-unquote the real events, where, like, magic isn't real, like, in the universe in which magic isn't real, and, like, this is all, like, explained through, like, real stuff or, like, pseudopsychology or whatever, I think it lines up pretty well. Like, and, like, she's, like, goading him. It's like, if you want to kill me, like, hate me, do whatever as long as it causes you to reject death. Kneel. What? Kneel and kiss my shoes. Well, if Human was in the chat, she's not anymore. She is kneeling. Otherwise, I will leave this place. I will go back and never show myself again for all of eternity. Could you withstand that? So mad. He's so upset.
He's ready to kill.
Oh, she's like right up in his shit. If the door to the Golden Land is open, your life is furniture that has been full of hardship will end. If you desire, I will even give you life as a human. After that, you will be on the same level as Jessica. Surely you want to know the taste of love. I know even if you try to hide it, you see. You drew jealous seeing Shannon wallow in the swamp of secret love. I love it when she gets like this, where her smile gets all big and unhinged.
Swamp of sweet love.
You are sorely tempted to know the taste of love. Oh, he went to his knees. That's why we sprites out of it. Stop it. Stop it. Are you trying to lead me on again? I won't be reduced to a toy to please you. I'm furniture, not a toy. You don't play with your furniture. Oh. Then I will make do with Shannon. You aren't the only ones. You weren't the only seed I sowed. There are sometimes those that don't bear fruit. You who laid hand upon the key must journey as follows to the Golden Land. Laid hand upon the key must journey as follows to the Golden Land. The first twilight, sacrifice the six chosen by the key. What does she mean by you who laid hands on the key? What did he touch? What did he metaphorically touch? Sweetwater River. I will. Maybe I'm just losing a little bit. Maybe I just don't have enough information. In the second twilight, those who remain shall tear apart the two who are close. The witch recited the epitaph again. It was so sudden and diverged so strongly from the current topic. However, her challenging smile made it seem almost as though she was using the epitaph as a threat to canon. Oh, the two who are closer in this case are George and... So George and Shannon are dying in the second night. Or something. Do you not understand? Golden Sneers. All the music has such great titles. For the ritual of the epitaph to succeed, on the second twilight, two who are close must be sacrificed. It could be any two who are close. So okay, so it was Ava and Hideyoshi last time, and now it'll be like... Okay. Sorry. So what I'm hearing is Nazi and Kraus are never going to die on the second night. Husband and wife, or even a pair of lovers. Who will be selected is up to me to decide on the whim, following the rules of the ritual. Don't you think that there are no one more fitting of a sacrifice in the second twilight than Shannon as she is now? Well, you disagreed with that the first time around, but I mean, I see where you're coming from. What a dirty... Bro, she's gonna kill all of you anyways. What the fuck? Shannon learned then. He had thought that he had given up everything and lived until today as furniture, like furniture should. But in reality, that wasn't true. He had loved Shannon too dearly. And so, when Shannon was in pain, Shannon shared in that. Only Shannon had continued to exist as furniture, living indifferently like Shannon, without any attachments to this world. They wouldn't have had to be in such pain. Yeah, so he is the defensive death drive mechanism where he's like, I'm going to reject attachments to this world because I want death, because I want to die, I want to remove myself from this painful situation. And that's going to be more difficult if I have any attachments to the surrounding the world. Witch planned to toy with Shannon, who learned of the taste of love, who she had taught the taste of love as she killed her. She would not invite her to the Golden Land as a merciful release, but would make her a sacrifice for that evil ritual, after dealing her the limits of torture and pain. And this witch would probably actually make Shannon meet his horrible fate for no other reason than it would be interesting for her. Furthermore, she was threatening to do that so that she could make Cannon, who had submitted to the witch even once until now, finally surrender.
It was that simple. In the end, though he had tried resisting the witch to avoid pleasing her, he had only made things more interesting for her. After all, it was furniture. No, a toy. They were nothing but toys meant to only distract her from her boredom. Damn it. He's like... I want them to still do the, like, hey, I still gotta set out lunch before they leave. Like, all this happens, she's just like, no, I'm not done yet. Like, come on, I need my sandwiches. What will you do, Cadon? If you kneel, I may even hold back from choosing Shannon as a sacrifice. I always wanted a chance to break a toy like you. I love every time where she does like the hee 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 thing where like it sounds just like that like weird voice like sample like that like
yeah.
Hey, we need to try to fake a laugh using music, like using sound equipment. How do we do that? And then this is like the old noise. I think it's so good. Without even a fragment of elegance, the witch sneered at Cannon with a vulgar laugh. Yes, even before Cannon made up his mind, she had seen through to his surrender. Cannon got down on one knee and chose to genuflect before the witch. He didn't care what happened to himself. However, just the fact that Shannon, who during his days as furniture had given him his only reason to live, was being toyed with, that alone was something he couldn't overlook. Therefore, something like kissing the shoes of the witch was an easy oath for Cannon to make. At the time, his quivering lips actually touched the witch's shoe. Beatrice, after allowing a look of ecstasy to rise to her face, let out an ear-splitting laugh. Is it fucked up that I'm kind of like, I can't believe they didn't make a CG of, like, Beatrice's feet? For all the freaks out there.
No.
I don't know, this feels like, I feel like this game gets into, like, some seriously perverted shit, but, like, it's so, like, esoteric and, like, perverted beyond, like, the usual sort of, like, oh, it's just big boobs or whatever, that, like, I don't know.
I'm not going to deny anything.
This game is incredibly horny, but it's for stuff that's so, like, further out there than what is usually horny about these kind of games. In that moment, the witch who had tired of 1,000 years of life was completely filled with the evil emotion that was her only raison d'etre. Did someone say big boobs? No, but human, I'm pretty sure you missed Cannon, like Beatrice telling Cannon to kneel down and kiss her shoes, and then him actually doing that a little bit later through psychological manipulation. I'm very sorry. You will have to go back to catch that. She has been stunned into silence.
Me?
No. Human. Lunch had ended, and the relatives moved in. I was there for the tail end of it. Okay, gotcha. I was about to say, if human, I kind of knew you weren't there for the most of it, just because, like, if you had, you would have. Yes, I was about to say, like, she would have been barking in the chat. Lunch had ended, and the relatives moved to the parlor. Anyways, getting back to money or whatever. Rosa had bought in a high-class brand of black tea from a famous store in Ginza that had been served, and the inside of the parlor was filled with a very nice aroma. Since the children were together with the adults were, at least on the surface, interacting like relatives, peacefully talking about recent events and how their children were growing up. It had started raining outside, so the children were unable to go out, and no choice but to sit there like this, watching TV. Like a true TV kid, Maria would absolutely be an iPad kid.
Yes.
Without a fucking doubt in my mind.
Rosa would be like, Maria, not right now, here's your iPad.
Yeah. Like, I feel like 90% of her problems with Maria would be like her just shoving more iPads at this child. Maria was watching vapid daytime programs one after another without getting bored and was giggling all to herself. It seemed that Battler had joined in at first, deepening his relationship with Maria. But he had gotten up early that morning and was so gradually attacked by waves of drowsiness he's falling asleep. Battler, your future wife who's about to fucking stomp you in the fucking head is upstairs right now. You can't be falling asleep.
No, let him take a nap. He's got a long day ahead of him.
Rosa would let her browse YouTube videos unsupervised.
Yes, she would.
I'm just now imagining, like, a world in which Maria's hyperfixation is not witches, but, like, Mr. Beast.
Oh my.
Like, she's like, Mom, I need you to buy me lunch sleeves! And she's like, no, there's more than them. Casafatia, your child, but with iPads. Yeah, it's like Casa Amontadillo. I can never pronounce the fucking story. I'm not Italian. But like, it's just, instead of bricks, it's iPads. God bless. God bless. Aw, he's all sleepy peepee.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's a big George. I really love this. Oh, that's a big yawn.
That's basically what you just said.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I don't like it when I'm similar to George. not a huge fan of that. Did you get up really early this morning? Something like that. I had a really weird dream. I was at a tea party. It was fucked up. And then I got sleepy while I was listening to the sound of the rain. Tension? You go around making yourself the center of attention, and now you're saying you were tense. I mean, I wouldn't blame him. He hasn't seen fucking half these people for 8 years. That's me, I guess.
Bro,
I just want Beatrice to like kick. I need Beatrice to like kick down the door and just point at him and like laugh and like, look at this dude. Look at this dude. Didn't get enough sleep last night. Look at him yawning. I feel like Beatrice would be like one of those toxic people who's like, does anyone else get the ick whenever somebody yawns? Or something like that.
Yeah.
She would just have like a series of things that she would just like mercilessly like be like, I don't know, I just don't think you're a real man if you do this.
Oh my god, I fucking forgot about all those types of posts. I get the ick if you're a man, we're on a date and you order dessert.
Yeah, like it's gay to eat dessert now? The fuck?
Oh god.
Battler gave a great yawn once again and slowly laid down on the sofa. He really did look tired. George and the others had started talking to him, taking his yawns as a sign of boredom. When they realized he really was sleepy, they decided to let him be.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
My. They say that if you lie down right after eating, you'll become a mackerel. Oh, you Japanese and your fish. Not kidding around. There's too many men who say it's gay to have sex with women. There are. Sorry, the only straight way to have sex is to have sex with another man. That's just how it is. Go-da-san said this night would be calf steak. In a minute, it's going to end up as a mackerel steak. Kumasawa-san, the guy really does look tired. Think you could bring him a blanket? At that point, shouldn't he just go to one of the many, many guest rooms in this mansion?
Yeah.
There are beds. Here you go. Kumasawa-san brought a blanket over from the shelf. It's so fucked up that, like, I just start automatically adding san to her name, even when it's, like, just not in the text at all.
You have to respect her. That's why.
How do you know what you're selling is good if you don't say the competing product? I mean, listen, I have a lot of respect for, like, people who are like, you know, I wanted to make sure I wasn't gay, so I had sex with a man. And, like, and then they were like, yeah, and I did it. And then I'm like, yeah, it's not for me. Sample your boy's product. I got a lot of respect for people like that. I think that's a really healthy way of going about things.
I agree.
The spacious parlor wasn't cold, but the air had gotten a little chilly. It's like being a like if you don't do it, it's like being a picky eater. You're not willing to experiment, and you're closing yourself off to new experiences. I say, glancing at Eddie, knowing she is a picky eater. I'm sorry, but being a picky eater means you're homophobic, Eddie. That's what I'm saying everyone. Here. So when the blanket was placed over Battler, he immediately wrapped himself up in it and curled like a turtle, retreating into its shell. This is really cute. Also, Beatrice is like, I can't get over the fact that like he's acting his most like eepy little guy that he's ever been in this entire game, and Beatrice is like right upstairs.
It's just driving you crazy.
It's oh man, yeah. Like, I need them to be in the same room together. I need that. You were really sleepy.
Sleepy.
I just, like, we go from, like, Canon being like, I want to die, and I want Shannon to die, but fuck you for killing her while she still has hope in her heart, and, like, examining, like, all the, like, weird dynamics that are going on to there, to, like, ooh, he's a sleepy little boy. Ooh, he's so sleepy. Oh, let me nap. What a good game. When do you want to wake up? I'll take care of it. Yeah, I don't care. You wake me up if there's something you want. There's nothing. You can let me sleep forever. Good night. Battler's sleeping. Nap time? I love how she's like happier at the idea of nap time. She's like, actually, that sounds sick. I'm gonna nap on Battler. Nap time? Yeah! Let's go! Once again, Battler and Maria competing for that top spot in my heart among the Ishiromias. Hey, Maria, Battler's sleepy, so you gotta leave her alone. No, she's just gonna nap with her cousin. That's perfectly fine.
Seriously.
Can we get another blanket? It was doubtful that Maria really wanted to take a nap. She probably just saw Battler wrapped up in a blanket and wanted to do the same. Don't fucking... Yeah. Who cares?
Let them nap.
Let her cook. When she was... I just love that, like, Beatrice is... Like, she had just met Beatrice, and she's still like, yo, nap time, let's go! She is so blissfully untroubled. She truly lives in the moment. Even though all his cousins are finally together after 6 years. Yeah, and they're doing a nap. That's super intimate.
Yeah, it's fine.
Dude doesn't have a clue that he's the main guest of this family conference, does he? No, they're all here. Okay, among the cousins, sure. But, like, his parents, none of the parents actually give a shit that he's there, except for, like, I guess. Actually, you know what? I think they're like, oh, yeah, he's fine. It's cool to see him again after so long. But, like...
Anyway, it's time to talk about money.
It's time to knife fight each other in the street. I can hear... I'm not asleep. I can hear you. I'm not asleep yet.
You last night.
Yeah. I was just like working on a couple things. I was closing out and saving a couple things and taking care of some stuff. I hadn't closed the stream yet, and then all of a sudden I start hearing people like talking mad shit about me. And they're like, oh, fuck him. He's not even here. Fuck that guy. And I'm like, okay, well now I have to like hey, what's going on?
So funny.
What the fuck? I've had a nice peaceful lunch, and there's even a typhoon and rain outside. Nothing to do, and that means it's not my turn yet. Wonder about that. You have a passive attitude like that, and don't do anything unless something happens. Your life will be pretty boring, you know? Don't think he's got to worry about that right now.
Bro, just give him a 30-minute fucking nap.
Everyone's like, I can't believe George is like, the reason you're, like, if you nap right now, you'll never be successful in life. No, that's not what I mean. How should I say it? In times like this, I've decided to think this way. It isn't my turn. This replay, it would be my turn to go on stage. He's like, hey, all you people, I'm not the main character of this one. This time around, it's gonna be somebody else. Well, the best thing to do is stay in the wings. You're always the main character of your own life, right? Why are you acting like a supporting actor? You have to get up on the stage yourself without being pushed. Not what I mean. I'm just saying it's not my turn right now.
Too self-aware.
He's like, listen, it's not about me this time. We're learning about other things. I'm taking a nap. He's like, am I not the viewpoint character? Am I not on screen right now? Nap time. I'm going to take a nap. I'll be interesting later. Sorry, I'm sleepy and my mind's a mess. Rather being sleepy is making me sleepy. Just let me be. I love you, Beato. So it seems. You're so sleepy that you aren't making any sense. Let's leave him alone for now. I can't let that one slide. You are always the main character of your own life. Okay, I can see why Jessica gets mad at this sort of thinking. Because it's like the same sort of like, it's not to the same extent, but it's the same sort of thing that's going on with like canon and shit. Where like, I am just furniture, my life doesn't have any value or whatever. I kind of want to have a serious argument with Battler about that. He's just half asleep. Don't take it too seriously. I don't know why, but the kind of personality saying you don't want to get up on the stage because you can't be the main character. Something about that really pissed me off. It's because you want to fuck a guy who doesn't consider himself to be human. With distant eyes, Jessica gazed out the window at the gray rose garden obscured by rain.
Me too, human. Me too.
When she put her forehead up against the glass, I'll probably wait until like the next like time it is to like a good stopping point, and then I'll like call it there.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
Right. Plus the least cool sensation would chase away memories you didn't want to remember. It wasn't your turn yet, was that it? Then when will you get up on that stage? In that case, who is the main character on the stage? Hey, you know, we've been bumping around a bunch of different perspectives. Who the fuck is the main character of this chapter? Oh. Tea party time, I guess. Is he having conversations with Burn Castell when he's asleep? You're just doing whatever you goddamn want. What the shit is this? This is just demented. Your argument regarding 18 or 19 people, which you use as a basis to deny me, is truly ludicrous, you see. I think Maria is the main character of this chapter. That'd probably be safe to bet. But like, we also had that really extended George scene. We had that really extended Canon and Shannon's thing. So I merely tried a different move. The greatest basis upon which you deny me is simply that I was not laid out as a piece in the game board. Oh, so he takes a nap and then he goes to like this mind palace where they're like playing out the... Okay. In that case, I simply play the queen first like this, can I not? Isn't opening the path to the queen in the first move one of the classic plays in chess? Real fucking funny. How the hell can I accept something like this? A witch just came walking through the set right through the entrance hall. What a royal load of bullshit! What's this? In the last game, I let you make moves as and when you pleased, you know? All I have done on this occasion is move a piece to match your moves. Are you all resigning already on the very first turn? Up yours! Like hell I am. Like, he's so pathetic. Who's gonna resign? Grey Moo, why don't you just keep playing however you like? He's so fucking salty. I get it, your turn's far from over. Move however you like. Form a huge battle formation while you can. I will definitely endure. I will definitely corner you. Come at me as best you can. I don't want you to have any excuses. This isn't much. This much isn't even close enough to make me accept something like a witch. That's right. Just now, it looked like you fixed Maria's candy with magic, but you might have actually had another one of the same candy hidden in your pocket. Switched them with some fancy showmanship, making it only look like you had fixed it with magic. Yeah, that's right. That has to be it. It's no good. It's no goddamn good. Anyways, good night. Good night, human.
I like that emote.
Yeah, it's a good emote. Rosa saw the moment where the candy split into butterflies, did she not? Whatever, I don't care. Is this part of the game just gonna be like Beatrice does magic, Battler throws a temper tantrum?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. That was a hallucination or a trick. Otherwise, she just saw it wrong. That isn't a big problem. So you throw out the part where you can't explain it's trivial. I see, is that your proven response to mine? Dude, he's so, like... Listen, I respect your gumption, man, but you're so fucked.
So fucked.
You dug your own grave. Why would I say it when she says it so much better than I do? It still isn't your turn yet. Allow me to continue my move for a little longer. It has barely begun, the turn of the witch. I love the xylophone in the background of this track. It's so good.
It is really good.
Actually, no, that's probably more like a vibraphone or something like that.
I don't know what it is, but I like.
A vibraphone is like a larger xylophone with a deeper register. It's also generally tends to have like pipes near the bottom to like help amplify and distort the sound of the actual like keys being hit by like an implement or whatever.
Oh, okay. Maybe it is.
Although I don't know, maybe that's just high enough pitch where it could just be like a deep register part of a xylophone. I don't know. They make a bunch of different xylophones and a lot of different keys. When they started hearing Battler snores, the relatives went their separate ways, leaving the parlor and letting Battler sleep in silence. Everyone left. He just wakes up. He just wakes up and he's all alone. He's just like, man,
I feel bad.
That kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it had been so lively in the parlor with so many people gathered there, when all of them scattered at once were sucked into the vast mansion, it created an eerie silence, with no sound except that of the rain.
Where's Battler sleeping? I imagine like he's just on the floor.
I imagine he's like curled up in front of the TV like a cat.
On the couch?
No, in front of the TV, because like they were saying, like he was watching TV with Maria. And,
yeah, like on the floor, right?
Yeah, like curled up on the floor in front of the TV, like
yeah. That's what I'm imagining too.
Because they even mentioned he kind of like curled up with it.
Nope.
Nope. Never once met like a person like that. Aniki? I've never met her. I don't think you're Aniki in this situation, Ava, unless you start referring to yourself as a Yakuza for whatever reason. Kirie-san, is that true?
Well,
even I greeted her quickly when she came into the entrance hall. She looked like she was a little over 20. I told her my name, but she didn't tell me hers. She was being guided by Genji-san, and I saw her go up to the second floor. So it's probably faster to find Genji-san and hear the story from him directly. Still, what a strange turn of affairs. I love your little pink tie. Once again, love your little pink tie. Hideyoshi. So good. The mystery woman had spoken to Kirie. Without naming herself, she sneered that Kirie already had a vague idea of who she was. The person that brought to mind What does her look like? The Witch of the Portrait. Once again, her cunty second portrait.
Kendo couldn't afford the artist to finish it.
She trying to say that she's the Witch of the Portrait? That's what I understood her to be laughing at. Even though it was her first meeting, she spoke as though she knew that I'm your second wife. Aniki, you really don't know someone like that. Stop asking me that. I guess.
Aniki is like...
Yeah, that's like an old big bro. Sister. That's like... Well, no, Aniki is supposed to be like big bro. It's like specifically also used in like a Yakuza context. It's like a senior sort of thing instead of like senpai.
She's the big brother.
She the big bro. She's like you just look up at your sister like, big bro, what's up? Never seen a blonde woman like that go in or out of this mansion. None of that matters. Imagine he's just like asking Hideyoshi, but his wife keeps stepping in. The problem is that what happens is that woman starts calling herself Beatrice, and she starts calling herself the manager of father's assets. Or maybe she plans to call herself his mistress' daughter and demand a portion of the inheritance. Let her. Either way, an outrageous joke has been slipped into the deck. Did Nissan call her? Or did father?
It's so creepy.
This is bad. We've been thinking we did a good enough job cornering Aniki in our discussion. We might be able to work things out. This takes us back to square one. I don't know what kind of schemes you've been plotting while I'm not around, baby. She definitely pegs him. Calling him baby like this. But it looks like we've been given a little time to form a counter. We've been giving a little time to form a counter strategy.
Okay.
Okay.
So Aniki with an E is big sister. Aniki with an I is big brother.
Oh, okay. You know what? That makes sense because it's Nissan and Nason.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. I'm still imagining he's saying big bro.
Because I saw Rudolph say Aniki, referring to Kraus, and I was like, that's spelled differently than Aniki.
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 Thinking about what would happen if this Blondie had suddenly appeared at the dinner table and scared the shit out of us. We should be glad we've at least been given a little time to discuss a counter strategy. There's only so many counter strategies we can use if we don't know who she came to do. What could she be after? Isn't it obvious? To claim that she's the rightful heir to father's inheritance. Father's so captivated by Beatrice. If two of them have a daughter, he'd be bound to say that he wants to hand her all of his assets. She might even thrust some sort of strange will before us. Sure, if we took it to court, we might be able to claim a quarter of half of it. We might be able to claim a quarter of a half of it. We probably wouldn't be able to split the inheritance until that was resolved. That's a problem. For me and for Rudolph. Of course, for Rosa too, right?
Could you start to shoot for me?
Yeah, sure thing. How's that? She's here to kill all of you. Don't worry about that. They're not thinking about that. Eddie is gone. Goodbye, Eddie. Eddie is here. Welcome back, Eddie.
What were you saying about me before I hung up?
I was saying Eddie is gone. Goodbye, Eddie. And then you popped
No.
back. What?
You were in the middle of saying something before I hung up.
Was I? I don't remember. I'm just okay. Eddie. Sometimes I just say words.
Okay.
Problem in various situations, we need a large sum of money urgently. Our biggest weak point. Then, what are they after? Yeah, can you tell? As far as I can tell, she's a witch. Eddie appearing like Beatrice. Just included an effect on any time somebody comes in or out of roof reactive, they just turn into a bunch of golden butterflies.
Returned with that weird fringe. No, stop. I am blonde right now with a weird fringe.
It's over. It's the first I've heard of it. One of the premises here
is that we have an urgent need for a large sum of money, right? I do kind of appreciate that Kirie-san is kind of in the dark about all this shit. Like, Rudolph apparently has not been talking with her.
Yeah. It's interesting.
When you're on the offensive in a man's business, that's the time you need funding. Hideyoshi, that's kind of misogynistic, but okay.
Donuts!
Donuts! Let's go! It's very on brand. I'm like, Hideyoshi, that's kind of misogynistic, and you're like, donuts.
I have my priorities straight, okay?
That's fair.
What's
this? You haven't told your wife about it? I guess you're not tight like we are.
Damn.
Sorry, wasn't really hiding it. Just never mentioned it. Or said anything about it, or gave any indication that anything was wrong. So hiding it. The truth is, we've been having a bit of a... It's alright. She's like, actually... Fuck it. I don't actually care. Just like let me know what the goal is and I'll get us there. You decided it wasn't necessary to tell me about it, so I won't press you about it here. She's like, you're not getting the strap until you tell me it though.
I'm dead.
What's more important is finding out what the Golden Witch is after, right? Yeah. Putting together everything we've said, can you see what moves the enemy? What moves the enemy will make against us? Rudolph had a certain measure of trust in Kirie's unique thinking technique, chessboard thinking, but does not tell her shit. This man's fucking This man's stupid.
Yes.
If I had a wife like that, where she could do this sort of crazy thinking. And also pegs me every night, I would tell her everything.
Okay.
It's important.
I'll make note. I guess.
Okay, but you gotta develop the chess. You gotta develop the chessboard thinking. That's the hard part. Of course, it didn't give him any more peace of mind. Unfortunately.
I'm too stupid.
Flip the chessboard, Eddie. Flip it.
God damn it, I'm flipping the whole table.
I was about to make a joke about, yeah, you flip the chessboard and then it goes over and over and then everything's on the ground. You're like, and you're like, I have no idea what's about to happen.
Nope.
Of course, it didn't give him any more peace of mind than the fortune teller. But every time Rudolph was concocting some important strategy, he would give a great deal of thought to Kirie's advice. For a while, Kirie pressed her finger against her forehead, considering. I'm thinking so hard. Oh, I'm thinking so hard right now. Judging by the fact that her coming here was kept hidden until today, one of her goals is some kind of surprise that she wants to give us. We can't know until whether that's happened, something to do with the assets or being recognized as a relative. However, because her visit was kept hidden until today, we're Kirie going through a Jimmy Neutron sequence, exactly. Video, I'm glad you're picking up what I'm putting down. Maybe we can say that she didn't want to get hit with the countermeasure by notifying us in advance, which means that it seems her goal is one where it would be disadvantageous to her if we did take some countermeasure. Understand? She's like, no, I just want you dead. I get it. She's like, no, I just need to convince your son that I'm real, and then you'll all be dead, but also reborn. It's fine. Yay. For example, if it was something like a will, which Dad had written previously, or acknowledgement of his blood relative plus accompanying proof, we assume she's brought something like that. Then if it was completely unshakable, if it was rock-solid proof, you'd think she'd actually have announced it beforehand. That's right. Since we were in a position to doubt her, she should have made us bring our lawyers and experts, and thrust some completely undeniable proof before us. If she could. So, just given that the enemy is aiming for a surprise attack, that alone tells us she couldn't beat us with an honest attack from the front.
Makes sense. You got a trump card that'll win for sure, you gotta play it out boldly. Play it in a roundabout way, and odds are you're going to tarnish its impact. Give us a conclusion. We should probably expect some huge surprise to be thrust in front of us. Something related either directly or indirectly to the inheritance problem that everyone's so infatuated with. I love how dismissive she is of it. She's like, whatever the fuck you guys actually give a shit about, I don't care. That tells everything gets pegged. Eddie donuts. The other party is probably under the impression they will be able to overpower us with the impact of this alone. However, even if this carries with it a significant impact, it is not absolute. In other words, we have enough leeway to take advantage of this. Oh, you really got brains. Okay, so I see how this kind of loops back around into them being like, okay, well, we just actually have to find the gold then. And so everyone starts trying to decipher the fucking, like, epitaph, instead of just kind of vaguely considering it like they did the first time.
Yep.
Even understanding this much is really reassuring. You're telling us not to get sucked into our opponent's face. In the end, it's an extremely simple conclusion. I just, like, I just want the idea of, like Ava and Hideyoshi hearing all this and, like, seeing how, like, kind of miraculous Kyrie is, and then just, like, turning to Rudolph and, like, and then they're like, and you didn't tell her? What? Are you fucking stupid? And then yes. Rudolph's like, yes. No matter, no, then Kyrie is like, yes. No matter what the opponent brings up, interact calmly without panicking. That's negotiation 101. I really can't call that predicting our opponent's thoughts. Come on, just like usual. That was pretty good. Now that we know we have a little leeway to attack, it gives us a little more room to relax. What we don't know is how she's connected to Kraus Nissan. Is it a surprise for Kraus Nissan too, or was the person who called her here other than Kraus Nissan himself? It's the latter. My thing seems very troublesome. Yes. Secretly calling a mystery woman on the day of the family conference. That detestable style somehow feels like Nissan. Aniki, let's handle it like this. As long as she can't clearly prove her identity, we won't acknowledge her as having any status whatsoever. That would be best. As a point of fact, she hasn't even named herself to be Kyrie-san. She hasn't even named herself Kyrie-san. We can't let our confidence be disturbed by the statements of some unknown woman. She might show some proof that she's a blood relative or something. If she can show that father's blood runs through her veins, the maternity record document, there's something we can do. We can suspect any proof of being fake. Even if it is the real thing, in order to prove that she is the person mentioned, we would need to involve a hospital. At the very least, it would be impossible to prove that now on Rokujima. Yes, that's it exactly. In other words, what it boils down to is this. No matter what's shown to us now on Rokujima, it can't be accepted as the truth. We can't believe anything until the typhoon passes and prove it to us in the proper place. Constantly finding fault like that is your specialty, Aniki. You're so good at tearing people down. It's all gonna be down to you. Are you a fucking idiot? You'll be helping too. We need money, and quickly, a large sum. We're all in this together. There's no way I'm having my prospects of an inheritance destroyed now because of some mystery woman who popped out of nowhere. There's only a time like this that Rudolph and Ava united as siblings. They're united in the fact of they need to be awful.
Money!
Simply by the idea that their own inheritance might be snatched away by an outsider. Kyrie noticed how indomitable they looked, shook her head slightly, and gave a small sigh as she looked out the window. She's like, man... I'm really think that, like, Kyrie married Rudolph because, like, she genuinely liked him or whatever. And, like, all this stuff... Like, she's got her own company doing her own thing somewhere else. Like, she's just, like, has, like, she's, like, independently wealthy or some shit. And she's just like, man, this is so fucking annoying I have to deal with all this shit. You should really just cut ties.
Oh my god.
Outside, there was still a strong rainfall, and everything was gray, having lost all vibrance. It felt like the lush garden that the sun shone on earlier never existed. For some reason, the words that Ava said just a short while ago kept repeating in Kyrie's head. It boils down to this. No matter what is shown to us now in Rokunjima, it can't be accepted as the truth. Wow! There was an odd nuance to those words. These battlers like so true, bestie. Hit tweet, Oopie.
Yes, Auntie Ava!
Right now, this island was closed off by the typhoon and isolated. There's no official instructions here and no hospital. So no matter what institution had issued what kind of documentation on this island, one could claim that it was all fiction. It was impossible to prove that something was the truth. They were cut off from the outside world, and all truths proven in the outside world could be called fiction. So did that mean that now on this Rokunjima there was nothing that was truthful? That everything would be controlled by fiction? Okay, so now we're getting into it. They must get the illusion that separate from the human world made from truth, there was another world called fiction in which they had been shut away. Here I remember what that woman had looked like one more time. She remembered the woman's figure and the witch of the portrait. On this island, which had been isolated from the world of humans and shut away in the world of non-humans, a non-human being had visited. No matter what she did, Kirei couldn't help but think that the smile that appeared on that woman's face is anything other than ominous. I'm trying to understand that ominous smile. It felt like my chessboard thinking mistook a vital premise. That's right. That smile seemed like something non-human looking down on me. I had reason based on the assumption that our opponent was human, like us. However, just like this island now, she may be a being that is not human, and human values may not apply to her. She didn't say any of this out loud because she doesn't want to look like a psychopath.
Yeah.
In that case, all reasoning is useless. For what reason was the rich invited here today? Only one thing is certain. I love how like Kyrie convinced like it's like they're playing on a chess, like almost like less a chessboard and more like Go or Rossetti or something like that, where like all the pieces are constantly flipping sides to either to Battler or to Beatrice, like their way of thinking. And it's like Kyrie thought about it hard and managed to convince 3 people that nothing could be accepted as truth and everything was fake. And then she managed to further think and then convince herself again that no, this was shit, that shit was real, that's a witch. Like she thought so hard she ended up flipping herself. Only one thing is certain. Right now, at this very moment, she is staying somewhere in this vast mansion. It's like you watch something flip, and then everything around it flips, and then it just like waits for a second, and then it flips itself again. Maria. Around lunchtime today, we met someone outside, right? A woman. Who was she? Maria's looking at her mom like, are you fucking stupid?
Again with this shit.
Said it a lot. Beatrice. She's so tired. Maria, have you ever met Beatrice before? Kyrie is so good. I like every single time we've talked to, like, we don't really talk to Kyrie a whole lot, but every time we have, I'm like, she's cool. I like her. 60 to 70% sure that she's like probably a turbo bastard.
Oh, because of association with Rudolph?
Yeah, like, I mean, listen, the fact that it's like they got married like basically right after.
Yeah, it is kind of suspicious.
Man, have you ever met Beatrice before? Yeah. See her every year. Stupefaction. She's like, what? Huh? Every year? In this mansion in Rokunjima. I don't know what means. Is that true? Yeah. I love how she's just like, yeah.
It's so different.
How long have you been seeing her? How many years ago did it start? Don't know. You don't know? Why? Last year? 2 years ago? Longer. Rosa was aghast. Only the Yoshiromiya mansion existed on this island. There was no way that there were any humans other than themselves on this island. Yet Maria said that she had been meeting with this suspicious woman every year during the family conference. I think it's like literally like it goes so far back that like she can't remember a time where she didn't see like Beatrice,
Beatrice.
What Maria said was the truth, and that strange woman called Beatrice has been at the family conference every year. That's insane. Is she saying that some eerie woman was at the family conference every year and none of us ever noticed it? I can almost see a world in which this kind of ends up devolving into like if this was made by like the Danganronpa people, where it's like a thing where like instead of like a class trial at the end of it, it would just be like a class trial of like all these people. It's just like, is Beatrice real? And then like you as Battler are like arguing and doing like Danganronpa shit to convince people that she's not, and she's arguing that she is.
Visualize that, yeah.
Yeah. So and then it's like the goal of each chapter is like flip every one of your family members over to like not believing in Beatrice, and then you win. I mean, obviously this is probably better. Like this is probably better, but I can see a world in which like that get executed like that.
I think Danganronpa works for what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
For itself.
Yeah. None of us ever noticed it. Even though Rose had just met her a couple hours ago in the Rose Garden, she was overcome with a strange emotion which told her not to accept her existence. What in the world did I meet earlier today in the Rose Garden as the typhoon blew close and the winds blew strong? Maria. But you said that you see her every year. What do you do together? Ooh. Sing songs, learn magic, learn how to draw magic circles. Really? It's incredible. Maria, you often scribble. Sorry, draw magic circles in your notebook, right? Did she teach you that? Yeah! Beatrice draws what they should look like. I really love this new, like, every once in a while we're getting new, like, sprites for characters. And, like, I feel like they've got, like, a solid, like, 75% hit rate, but the ones that look a little goofy are, like, they look really goofy.
This one looks so bad.
Yeah, this one's rough. Look. Maria joyfully fished around in her handbag.
It almost kind of looks like someone different drew it, actually.
Yeah. Then she took out a notebook and started opening its pages. Most of the pages were covered with drawings that were literally scribbles. All of them were occult-like things, and while it might sound rude to Maria, who was joyfully flipping through the pages, they were all creepy. Look, here. Beatrice drew these for me. Oh, hey, it's those seals. Oh, hey, new ones. Each page Maria opened to, there was another eerie magic circle that had been drawn. I love how, like, all these are, like, clearly being reused, but they're like, we're not drawing a clean version of these. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Furthermore, at a glance, Rosa realized that Maria hadn't drawn them. The strength of the strokes, the thickness of the lines, how clean the shape was. This, by itself, wasn't enough to guess the background of the person who had drawn it. It was enough for Rosa to understand that it was definitely someone older than Maria. Rosa had to accept it now. There really was a person, this Ropponjima, who she hadn't even known existed, and that person had been playing with Maria during the family conference every year. You know, if she was less shit of a mom, this would be nightmare information for her. Also, she probably would have known about it by now, but, I mean, hey, listen.
Maybe she just believed her daughter.
Does this witch Beatrice live here? Does she live outside the island, like us? Ooh. Beatrice is the witch of Ropponjima, so she lives on the island. So you've been saying that she's been on the island even when it isn't the family conference, right? Ooh. I don't... Rosa, if you hate your kid right now, I'm going to be very upset. Well... Yeah. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I can't believe it. How long has this unknown witch been living on this island? I used to live on this island! I lived on this island and passed the time in the mansion in the Rose Garden. And even so, I never encountered a witch like that. Never, I think. I want Rosa to be, like, mad that like, what do you mean I wasn't cool enough to be a witch? Like, this is just another aspect in which she hates her daughter.
Oh, no, jealousy.
Mama? What's wrong? Mama? My head hurts.
Everyone's head is hurting.
Nazi's like, I'm so fucking psyched. I'm so ready. I was probably getting a little mixed up in my memories from when I was a young girl. I was a young girl. Unlike Maria, I was very frightened of witches. So for me, the name Beatrice was a synonym for something frightening. It must be that my feeling of fear from my days as a young girl had been revived. The woman calling herself that has appeared. She couldn't be a witch. She's obviously a human calling herself Beatrice, right? Oh yes, that witch entrusted me with an envelope. What in the world could that be? Rosa pulled the western envelope out of her pocket. The western envelope, which bore the Yushiromiya crest, which Kinzo used in his personal letters. It had been sealed with the red sealing wax about its ring, which Kinzo held. It meant that this envelope belonged to the Yushiromiya head. In other words, it was from father. Why was a woman calling herself Beatrice holding it? Why did she give it to me? That's right, I'm sure she said to read this aloud at dinner. What in the world could be written inside? Anxiety gripped Rosa, as if opening this envelope might release some kind of monumental disaster. However, at the same time, a little curiosity sprouted up, causing her to want to find out what was written inside before the other siblings. Using common sense, one could only grasp that a huge decision somehow related to father's inheritance was probably written inside. Actually, since he had given it to a woman calling herself Beatrice, there was no way this wasn't related. This means that he wanted the inheritance split not between 4, but between 5, including her. I need a large sum of money, and I can't wait long. I do feel like a sinful daughter for discussing the distribution of father's inheritance while he's still alive. However, I'm no longer at a stage where I can afford to keep everything pretty. And I'm even consulting with Rudolf Nissan and Eva Nissan in order to get some money off of Ralph's Nissan. For myself in the situation, I can't help but sense something ominous in the appearance of the witch. What could be written in here? It's fucked up that she's not talking about this with, like, her fellow conspirators.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this is, like, what they get for, like, kind of making her the baby of the group and, like, her feeling kind of, like, limp and powerless in these situations, but, like, still, come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure there must be something frightening written. So I first read it secretly myself. Which had requested to be done at the dinner table when anyone was gathered. However, in that case, couldn't she just read it aloud at the dinner table herself? Why did she go through all the trouble of entrusting it to me? That mean basically it didn't matter whether I secretly read it beforehand? It would be better to secretly read the contents first. I understand that it would be breaking my promise. It's no longer the time to keep things pretty. Well, Rosa, I'm sorry. You're definitely Night 1. It would probably be good to discuss it with Eva Nissan and Rudolf Nissan, depending on the contents. Nissan and the rest are always really good thinkers when it comes to this kind of thing. As I gulped and put my hands to the red sealing wax, something suddenly pulled on my sleeve, and I let out a small shriek. What? Maria. Maria's just gonna be looking up at her like, bitch, she said not to open that.
Yep, basically.
Don't scare me like that. What? No. Sorry, it's like rejected. It's over. Not happening. Yeah? Maria's making the same ominous expression Rosa had seen on the witch, sending a tingle up her spine. Hey! Let's go! Witch Maria's back! Maria just told you to read that letter during dinner, Mama. You can't break a promise with a witch. That's not it. I just wanted to look at the envelope for a second. I'll keep my promise. For all, Mama always tells you to keep your promises. And then hits you after promising not to hit you anymore. Of course, Mama's keep her promises. Yep. Mama's a good girl. That laugh isn't cute, so stop it. I just love that she's just like, I don't know what means. It's like, it's clearly a noise of assent. Like, she's clearly like, yeah. Or like, sometimes is like,
Yeah.
Please listen to your daughter even a little bit to be able to understand this. I know she's just freaking out because she needs clarity, because she's freaking out, but like still. Come to think of it, you received a letter too, Maria. What was written inside? Haven't opened it. Beatrice said I mustn't open it until it's time to open it. Well, taking good care of it. Ooh. I see. You listen to what Beatrice says, don't you, Maria? She's pissed. I'm Beatrice's disciple, so I listen to what my master says. I see. Rosa realized something. Mixed in with Maria's gaze was the light of a person other than Maria. She broke the rules and opened the envelope here. Beatrice would definitely find out about it, because Maria was the witch's disciple. Maria communicated with that witch. Mama will keep her promise. Tell Beatrice not to worry, okay? I'll tell her. Hey, Maria. I want to speak with Beatrice, so what should I do to meet her? I don't know. Beatrice is very fickle, so she always shows herself suddenly. I don't know a way to get her to meet me. But you know, she's always watching me. So when I get in trouble, she'll definitely save me afterwards. Rosa, you're so fucked! She's gone invisible and hiding close to me, I just know it. Don't I always tell you to stop that laughing? Oh, there it goes. Rosa reflexively hit Maria on the head. That put a stop to Maria's laughing voice, but it wasn't able to release the ominous color that had risen to her eyes. Rosa, It's really crazy to me that Rosa is not going to make it past night 1 again. Rosa made a pact with herself. She swore that, at least until they left this island, she would not leave Maria alone. She couldn't allow an unknown being to make direct contact with her daughter anymore. So only you gave a shit about that beforehand. Alright, well, this is clearly the stopping point.
Yep. I was waiting for this. But it's perfect, because it's 1 a.m.-ish, almost, basically.
Yeah, it's close. Furniture and people.
Maria, 戻ってこねえな.
No! Unfortunate. Wow. Episode 2, Turn of the Golden Witch. Furniture and people. Alright. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. I don't know if we made a whole lot of progress tonight. We were mostly just talking about a bunch of bullshit. Mostly coming from my end of like, well, what is this? What if I just started swerving all over this completely straight road?
It's just Umineko at this point.
Yeah, that's fair. But I'm having a good time. Once again, I'm really enjoying my time with this game. Even just because like I'm constantly thinking about shit. Let's see who's streaming. Is anyone streaming? Nora is streaming, but I don't think she allows raids once again. Or they allow raids, excuse me.
Okay.
Let me try really quick. Ah! It's working!
Ah,
For some reason. I don't know how that works. But anyways, I guess we'll go ahead and raid Noro.
Yay! Art!
Yay! I like art. I think it's neat.
Hey, neat.
Hey, neat. Alright. Let Noro have a good time. Enjoy Noro. Let him know I said hi. And we'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye!
Bye-bye!
I waved, but no one can see me.